Hey guys, welcome back. And I think we should definitely take a minute to go over the Blue Beetle movie, which is finally released. It actually opened up to the earlier screenings yesterday on Thursday. And, there's been generally positive reviews from the critics and from the verified audience that we'll kind of go over in a minute on Rotten Tomatoes. But I find these reviews funny, or at least the ones from sites like Polygon or IGN. This one especially, because this one on Polygon definitely is, you can tell that they looked at this and said, we just want a Latino forward movie. We don't care what the subject matter is. We don't care if it's a terrible movie or the best movie on earth. If it doesn't do us justice, we're just going to scream and rant and rave. So this one from Polygon here says, one of the most frustrating things about the experience of marginalized people in modern US culture is how rarely you can say what is actually on your mind. First of all, just tell me, who doesn't say exactly what's on their mind these days, especially among the marginalized groups of people? Like, give me a break, come on. It says, in spite of the constant calls to elevate marginalized voices, those calls often come with the unspoken requirement that those voices be polite and that they don't make anyone uncomfortable. This is a wildly annoying contradiction, one that asks people of color or anyone who doesn't conform to gender norms to take any number of small indignities in stride, educate the so-called majority, and do it in a way that makes the offenders feel good about themselves. I mean, this is such bloated crap here, such self-serving narcissism in this article, but basically kind of goes over the fact that the movie's good. It's fun that it features Latinos, but it's not enough. It's not enough representation. It just gives a safe nod to the fact that they're Latino, but it just isn't enough, right? And it's really funny. They even point out in this this article here that the character was written in 1939 and was only changed to Mexican back in 2006. So less than 20 years ago, this character became Mexican, even though the character is 90 years old, something like that. Crazy, right? Almost 90 years old. And so they wanted to say, I do not believe director Angel Manuel Soto or writer Gareth Denetz Alcacer, I don't know how to say that name, set out to make a film for a default white audience. They bring a careful eye toward authenticity to Blue Beetle, sincerely attempting to ground Jamie Reyes' story in a recognizably Mexican-American setting with pan-Latino flavor. Jamie's family is loud, nosy, and affectionately contentious in ways that echo mine and my friends. Here's the thing. I'm sick and tired of this trope about how only Latin Americans or specific minorities have caring, loving families that are annoying, obnoxious, and over the top. My white family, we spent all of our time around each other, in each other's hair, nonstop, opinionated, obnoxious, to the point where half of us don't talk to each other anymore. So I'm tired of that being like a Latino trope or an ethnic trope. It's like, maybe people are all more similar than these stereotypes want to let on. Maybe plenty of different types of families from all walks of life have similarities. But anyways, that's kind of like these people are just kind of screeching because it's not enough. Whatever it is, if it's not enough representation, it's not authentic representation, it's whitewash representation, whatever. So here we are today on Friday night. I'm not quite sure what the numbers are coming in from the box office today. I imagine they're not good, seeing as it opened up to the early previews of only getting 3.3 million yesterday. That's it. That is actually less than Shazam 2. It's less than The Flash. This movie is on pace to completely bottom out. I'm talking, it's probably going to make less than $200 million, which will put it definitely below budget, or above budget, seeing as the budget's $104 million, and, marketing is at least twice that much. So marketing and budget's going to put it at 225, 250? It's insane. And this is the thing. It's like people are just kind of sick and tired of the superhero genre. They're tired of things that don't matter. They're tired of the superheroes that are just being thrown in there for the sake of diversity and not for the sake of having a great story that we care about. People want to care about the characters first and foremost. And it sounds like, from what everyone's saying about this movie, that even if you like the movie, and you can see the empty theaters here in several of these photos, empty theater. It's just weird that, people are just kind of tuning out, which is something that's never happened before. People have always cared about movies. They've always cared about what's currently on, in the box office. Desparu tweeted out a little bit ago, Blue Beetle characters are obnoxious, never piss off, and the plot is laughable. Two guy characters' arcs are, I remembered I'm Latino, I'm good now. Blue Beetle is an idiot whose nan made a better superhero than him. It was 90 minutes before he properly used his suit. And I've seen similar people say this. Heel versus Babyface pointed out that basically the characters are like every Mexican stereotype and trope you could throw into one movie, which is hilarious. It reminds me of somebody saying that Mexicans are best known for their breakfast tacos, you know? But I digress. So here we have on Rotten Tomatoes the tomato meter for both critics and audience score. Tomato meter has it for critics still fresh between 77 and top critics at 71%. Audience is definitely the verified audience. This is something you're going to see on Rotten Tomatoes for forever and ever. I don't know how these verified audience members actually get verified on Rotten Tomatoes, because you're supposed to submit proof that you actually went and saw the movie to get verified. I've never seen how that option works. Maybe somebody can tell me down below how that actually works. But verified audience is sitting at 91%, all audience at 88%. These numbers are actually down from where it was earlier today. These numbers were at 79% on the critic and 94 or 95 at audience. So these numbers are going to go down as more ratings come in. The initial rating is at 95% with like 100 plus ratings, and now it's at 250 plus on verified, 2,500 on all audience. Some of these even the fresh review scores, though, basically like what we've seen in the past, are very similar. So one of the rotten ones says a guy standing and screaming at his own silly outfit is neither dramatic nor visually absorbing, which kind of looks like what happens in the trailer for the most part. To be fair, Peter Parker kind of did the same thing with his new suit in the Peter Parker films in the MCU. So honestly, it's not that different from some of the stuff we've seen in the MCU. Someone says it's got heart and some fun spectacle, but it draws from other more recognizable blockbusters that it lacks originality. And this is a fresh review, 3 out of 4. Lacks originality. While Blue Beetle tells a familiar story, it still manages to distinguish itself by putting the focus on the lead character's family. Again, so you're telling me the lead actor isn't good enough, he's whatever, so you focus on the character's family instead. Okay, there are movies that are supporting cast heavy, and that kind of makes the movie. But this is a superhero film. This is supposed to be about the superhero, about the main character, his story arc, becoming a hero. One of the rotten reviews here says there are no surprises to be had here, no interesting twists on the superhero conventions, and no originality in even the post-credit sequence that has the whiff of inevitability about it. So I don't know what to make of all this, guys. I mean, I initially said, despite George Lopez being an idiot, despite the director being a complete psychopath on Twitter, and besides, you know, all the negativity surrounding superhero movies nowadays, I was still saying to myself when I saw the trailer, this looks like it could be a fun, decent movie. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie, I didn't see it, but I am going to tell you it's going to be a bust. This movie will not make money, it's going to lose money, and it's just one more thing that we're going to see just flop at the box office. It's just going to tank. And it's just kind of the state of modern Hollywood, especially with the writer's strike going on. We're going to have a couple of years with not a whole lot coming out, so it's going to be pretty interesting to watch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We are close to 500 subs. It's super appreciated. You guys have been awesome, and we'll see you on the next one.